What's up, landlords? Renee here. We're going to do our landlording live pre-game before I turn it over into the school community. If anybody shows up. If nobody shows up, I'll hang out here for a little bit. Let me make sure. Hold on a second. I got all these buttons. I just wanted to make sure the live was working. So I'm going to share a little bit of stuff I'm working on right now. And first, I'll talk about the school. I did the Mortal Kombat Test Your Might thing. I think I showed you guys that last time. And now I'm working on DIY property management SOPs. I just recently got the question about, some property management, self-management SOPs for a landlord. And I was like, that's a good question. I have it all laid out in my course, but it's just going to help me hone it down and make it more efficient. So I'm going to start out with, like, if I'm talking to anybody explaining, like some SOPs, I'm going to have to explain that the goal ultimately is to act like a property management company. So you can just seem as an employee at a property management company, and you have to build out a little bit of a property management business, not too much, just enough to kind of give you what I call the plain vanilla business advantage. So I'll mention that, and I'll talk about that Test Your Might landlord starter game that I made for school, where it's going to be logo, colors, font, email, phone, address, website, LOC, banking. And then I'm going to go a little bit further and also mention that they need other business accounts. Like, you want to get Amazon business account, other business accounts, then it's an Amazon business account, then it's a Lowe's business, and the Home Depot Pro account, and the Floor and Decor and the Lamps Plus and all that stuff. And you want to make sure you're saving all those passwords and making separate business accounts for that stuff wherever possible. And then talk about, you want to have like build your hybrid real estate team, not full-blown like remote landlord style where you need everything from a property manager all in the whole 9 yards. With this, you just really focusing on an RE attorney, an RE specific CPA, an RE like insurance broker to kind of help you out with insurance, and then maybe an RE agent, like if you're going to outsource your showings to a realtor and for a networking thing, because that's another tool that I've recently worked on. I think I showed that before, was the outsourcing showings prep. It's like a sign-in sheet, and then it's like this one pager explaining whoever you hire what to do, the day prior, where to park and contact the tenants, and then the day of show up early, unlock everything, look at the trash, do the walk around and all this good stuff. And some links and resources about fair housing and non-discrimination, kind of like don't say this or that, especially if you're outsourcing to somebody that doesn't know this stuff, but a realtor should know that. Then I'll talk about the outbound process a little bit first, I think, before I go into the inbound, because I kind of break it down in like 60 days out, inquire if they're going to renew or not. And I have like templates and everything. But if I'm giving somebody an SOP and like almost like a key for them to build out on their own or kind of understand the process, I would kind of lay it out this way, just titles of kind of stuff that I've built. And then 45 days before the lease end date, that's when you're prepping your tenant turnover, and then 15 days before, and then the farewell is 15 days after. And then the inbound, I think I got that in 10 steps. It's Oh, a side note, I might be talking about, know your avatar or like your most ideal tenant. You can't discriminate, but you can kind of list specific areas. Put your rental listing in specific areas that maybe are more of your ideal tenants are there, and don't list other places where your less ideal tenants are. Anyways, the listing, the requesting, the inviting, showing, applying, screening, accepting, pre-move-in, the move-in, and the post-move-in, and then some managing tips. Hold on a second. I think I have to start my thing.
Recording in progress.
All right, we got that going. That's from a song that I like. Let me see how this looks. I wonder if I can. I have something pulled up here to talk about. Just waiting to see if somebody jumps in. Okay, here's me working on helping landlords create that plain vanilla business advantage. I'm putting together some short, straight to the point, lots of editing and lots of like arrows and pointing and text box and red squares to make it super simple and not a demonstration where it's just like me figuring it out. So it takes a lot of editing on my part. So whenever somebody watches it, they're like, oh, this is how you get your domain. Oh, this is how you transfer it. And it'll be super straight to the point. And I got an opener. Then I have an example one, setting up like the Cloudflare, because ultimately that's the one that I know is the best. And if you don't believe me, do your own research, you'll figure it out. And I even put together a scenario where, let's say somebody has their domains in another provider. Most people do the Namecheap, but I give an example how you transfer your domains over to Cloudflare just to make it extra helpful. And then there was something else. Hold on. I think I wanted to show that song that I keep playing. I had to switch. I had to pull up my X here and see if I can find that, where that song comes from. I don't even know what it's called. Oh, look, there's where I posted the Test Your Might thing, where there's like 10 different things to go up to see your business starter for a DIY landlord. This is just, who knows what I shared there. That's not. Oh, this is when you're dealing with tenant troubles, how to, just a short, simple way, an acronym to remember how to like handle any kind of conversation or text or email. You want to let the tenant know you're listening. You want to isolate the problem. You want to get proof, and you want to probe. Was it their fault? Can they fix it? Do they really need it fixed or whatever? And just kind of asking questions like, what if I submit a request to see if we can replace this? And then the solving would be like, hey, give them options, get them involved. Be like, hey, what if we want to replace the fridge? Will you give us 3 options? Go on Lowe's and look up 3 different versions, low, mid, high cost, and I'll submit it up. And you're basically trying to show the tenant you care, you're listening, you're troubleshooting with them, and you're just the property manager, you're submitting this stuff up. I thought I shared it somewhere. There it is. Let me see if I can play this thing. This is so funny to me.
The year is 2007. Nuclear war has nearly destroyed our planet. Now, an evil presence seeks to enslave what's left of humanity. And there's only one thing that can stop it.
Nobody threatens my planet.
Michael Biehn is Sergeant Rex Power Colt, a Mark IV cyber commando who's part man, part machine, and all-American.
School's out forever.
He's got the science, he's got the firepower, and he's got the robo-balls
That's a Rex Colt guarantee.
to destroy evil. He's more hero than any man on Earth.
I know hero. Firemen, policemen, janitors. Those are the real heroes.
He is Sergeant Rex Power Colt. And he's here to save the world.
Oh, that's awesome. I like the heroes, the firemen, the police. I like the half man cyborg kind of thing, the music, the 80s vibe. It's so cool. I've never even played that game. I just came across that song once and I fell in love. So that's what this comes from when you hear that. Dun, 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 dun. What was I going to do? Oh, I found this on Reddit. I wanted to talk about this. So this person's like saying, hey, reminder, always take caution and file eviction proceedings as soon as possible. And then I was like, let's look at these photos. It looks like a basement and kind of like gloomy. I don't even see any windows. Is this even a legal rental is what I'm thinking. Like you're supposed to be egress windows and stuff like that, but you really can't tell too much here. Like, I don't know what this is, another room. It's got to be a basement. We don't really have those in Florida, so. And then all this pipes and everything. And then one window. I see this bathroom and some stairs. Like, I don't understand. There really wasn't much details and everything. But the point here that I wanted to talk about was I remember growing up in the trailer parks around really bad riffraff and all my, I guess I call them like trailer trash or river rat, sibling friends and all that around us. We were just bad kids. And I remember one time we had a babysitter. My mom had double waitress jobs and I was always raised by babysitters. And as I was getting older, I was a teenager. I was staying at this one babysitter's house and they were getting evicted from their trailer. And I remember them always complaining about the landlord. The landlord's horrible. And I only heard their side of the story. I don't remember any details. Just like he was the bad guy. So after they moved everything out, the boyfriend and the lady went in there and was like peeing and pooping in the corners and like doing some damage. And we were just outside. They told us to stay outside. Then the boyfriend told us, hey, go in there and piss on the carpet. And he sent us in there to pee on the floor in this trailer. And I never even realized what I was doing. It's kind of like when I saw this photo, I remembered that it was like flashback. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that happened unless I dreamed it up. I don't really try to remember too much of my upbringing. But the point here is if you have, low income type of rentals and maybe Section 8 and stuff, you need to manage hardcore and you're going to be really involved. Either have a really good property manager or you need to be on top of them and just get used to this stuff, because those type of people, they hold grudges, man. They'll fight back. They have nothing to lose and they would just destroy your crap and they don't care. For me, I would prefer a little bit better clientele if you can. That's why you should do the 1031 exchange and go up into, B class neighborhoods and maybe A class if you can get there. Not extreme high end or anything, but if you really have a nice rental that's I guess it commands a good hefty rental amount, it's going to eliminate a lot of potential applicants, right? And that was kind of like the thought process there. I would rather have one or two highly sought after single families in a nice neighborhood and versus 10 or 20 really low income type of rentals that are a lot of headache for me. So for me, it's not like I'm trying to be a real estate investor and be rich and have like thousands of doors. I want enough rental income to pay the bills and give me something extra to pursue my passions and do my landlording thing here, be at home with my family and all that stuff. So I'm weighing like a balance, like how much cash flow do I need? And then how much effort do I want to put into this rental business? So that's why I put so much effort into streamlining and doing all type of like, website and trying to make it seem like I work for a property management company and stuff like that to make it easier on me. Like Rex Power Colt, he's half cyborg and half man. So I like the idea of trying to use digital, technology and everything to your advantage. Honestly, I will go out on a limb and almost say that property managers and probably property management softwares will be going extinct in the future. I think we won't need them in the future because think about it. I play around with Grok all the time and I can just tell it, hey, I already had a website. And that's the code that I've been using. I sent it to Grok and said, hey, can you see if there's any issues here? And it found some extra code. It missed some closing brackets and stuff. And I was like, wow. And then it even offered some suggestions. And I said, well, how can I do this more easily? Because I'm about to show landlords how I did it. And they're like, yeah, if you do it, if you host your images here versus this. And I'm like trying to make it as simple as possible because if I'm showing another landlord how to do this stuff, which I don't like middleman, I don't like the middleman banks. That's kind of why I like crypto. I don't like the middleman property managers and the property management software and like, even Facebook and different type of platforms you use for social stuff. They always have their agenda and sometimes they'll flex on you and control you and silence you and like muzzle you and like, oh, you're liking too much or you're DMing too much or you can't post that or you can't say this. And it's kind of crazy. So if you get this illusion of control when you use a property manager and a bank, but really you don't have control. So I am an advocate of like, hey, hooking up DIY landlords to eliminate the middleman. Why do you need a property management software and this website and all their rules and guidelines? And they're a for-profit business and they can get bought out. That happened with Cozy. They can go under. They can just change the rules of the game. They can let you go because they may not want to service small landlords anymore and they're only going for corporate ones. There's so many other things that could happen when you're not in control. But honestly, I already could say now that probably if I started over, I would just try to get a Mercury business account and do their awesome billing they can send the invoices, automatic invoices and stuff like that. They change your bank account information and I never see the tenant's bank account information and I just set up payments for them and you could turn it off and they can't pay. And then you just build your own website for free, which I'm showing people in school. And I'm like, wow, I really think this is an industry that could go extinct unless they do something that, really outside the box. Like I know there's property management softwares, I think Hamlane and another one, they offer this like tenant maintenance thing that's a big selling item and it's really just a home warranty. I carry home warranties on mine and let me see if I can find the other. It's basically they're the property management software and they have another middleman that they're partnered with to do more, different things to separate the landlord from having control and you don't really know what they're doing exactly. Does it align with your interests? Man, I forgot the other one. Maybe it was like Yardi or some other property management software because I have AppFolio for my property management software and I reached out to them and said, hey, how much would it cost to plug into AppFolio? And then they turn me down and they say, hey, you can see one of our partners, go to Handlane or this because you need at least 100 doors to hire them as their like maintenance thing. And in my mind, I'm realizing, oh, I'm looking behind the curtain a little bit. I see what's going on here. Basically, it's just a glorified property management software with a glorified home warranty. And I'm like, the landlord can do all this on their own and set up their own systems. And I'm like, man, if I could help out landlords, the small mom and pop landlords one day, I'd be like, look, I'm going to show you how to do everything on your own with no middleman. That would be the ultimate, best scenario for me and maybe anybody else that's interested in that. Get the tenants like paying more like crypto style, where it's from their wallet that they have their keys to my wallet that I have my keys to, and there's no waiting for the settle. I know other DIY landlords that have property management software already have, it's a big stink in the industry. Oh, why are they holding the funds? And Appfolio just recently redid something, and then some other bank redid something. And if you look in the fine print, they have this like holding period, another middleman kind of thing that they have an ulterior motive. And I think they're making interest off of that. So if all these transactions come through their bank or whatever, and they hold it there for like a few days, they can get a little bit of interest off of that, and then carry these huge account balances, and they get like interest off of this stuff. So they are giving bad service by causing a slower transaction to happen, so they can get their little cut inside. That's what I mean with the middleman. And there's so many other things. There's a quote from what's his name, Sam's, what's it, Zell? I read his book, and he was talking about the something of radius theory or something. He says the more people in between you and the decision causes disruption. It's harder for you to solve and create the best scenario if you are muddled down with a bunch of people in between, because they don't want to look bad. So if they're sitting on a lead, or they made a mistake, they're going to kind of like, sugarcoat it a little bit to make it seem like it's not that bad. And then by the time you get the information, it's harder to make a decision because you don't really have the facts. Or you got a bunch of yes man people. They're like, oh yeah, you should do that. Good idea. And they're saying yes to everything. So that's just me going off on a little tangent complaining. I think that's my 15 minutes. Nobody showed up. I hope if anybody watches this and you guys are interested in joining school, check me out at foreverlandlord.com. I'll see you later. Bye.